We're the only vendor that's a leader in the Forrester Wave for both enterprise firewalls and micro segmentation. And I think that's pretty telling because
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Today I have the opportunity of speaking to security leader here at Cisco, Brian Gilgeous. Brian, how's it going?
going well, Abdiel. Looking forward to the conversation.
Likewise. So let's kick it off with why security? Why Cisco?
Yeah, so I think the best way for me to tell that story is to take a step back and talk about my background.
Yeah.
This is year 12 for me at Cisco. And I joined Cisco via the SourceFire acquisition back in 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And frankly, I never thought I'd be here 12 years later, right? We were a 750 person company at the time of that acquisition. When I joined SourceFire, we were a 70 person company.
Wow.
Right? And now we're part of a 70,000 plus organization.
Huge
right?
difference.
Yeah, huge difference. But the reason I'm still here boils down to a couple of things that aligns with why Cisco security.
Yeah.
And more pointedly, why Cisco security now, right? And the first thing I tell people is that the reason I'm still here is because Cisco takes care of our people, we take care of our partners, and we take care of our customers.
I can attest to that.
I live in the security world, right?
Yeah.
And it's a new day for security at Cisco. And that boils down to three things. The first one is the market dynamic that we've seen, where pretty much every aspect of our customers' cybersecurity stack is in a state of transformation, right? And it's driving customers to look at trying to find efficiencies, looking for ways to consolidate and move towards more of a unified platform approach,
Yeah.
right? And that aligns extremely well with Cisco and the way that we've approached security.
Yeah.
Right.
So really quickly, so when you talk about what's driving that, so it's hybrid work, right? So
Absolutely.
the traditional perimeter no longer exists, right? Where you're at a single location, HQ or branch location. You can work from home, you can work from Starbucks, you can work from everywhere. And from there, the amount of devices that we're seeing introduced to our corporate environments. And you mentioned Cisco's position really well because of what you mentioned, a unified story that we're able to provide to our customers.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, the perimeter is now your identity or your device.
That's true.
Right, wherever you or your device might be, right?
Yep.
We're also seeing mega trends like generative AI, agentic AI now, also accelerate the threat landscape. Businesses are leveraging these technologies to better enable their business and deliver better customer experiences. And so they need to be able to secure it and be able to leverage this type of technology safely.
Yeah.
Right? And so that sort of shift in the market aligns really well with our capabilities to be able to help customers deliver AI-ready data centers, right? Future-proofed workspaces, and build digital resilience into everything that they do.
Yeah.
And that last part of it there with the digital resilience is where our technologies come into play from a security perspective, right? So the other aspect of this is the level to which Cisco is investing. We have a build, buy, and partnership strategy, which we've orchestrated extremely well to be able to deliver a pretty comprehensive security portfolio that goes all the way from addressing identity security
Yeah.
for both the user as well as their devices, regardless of where they are and whatever applications they're looking at connecting to securing those applications, whether they're
The workload. Yeah.
exactly, whether they're in the data center, in a public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud environments, right? These are not necessarily areas that people have known Cisco as being able to provide market-leading technologies. But it's a new day. Not only do we have those technologies, but we have third-party validated awards that show that we've got market-leading technology. Just last year in 2024, Cisco was awarded a leadership position in 3 different Forrester Waves, right? We're a leader in the Forrester Wave for enterprise firewalls, micro-segmentation, as well as OT, security, right?
And we're just getting warmed up.
Oh, absolutely. We're the only vendor that's a leader in the Forrester Wave for both enterprise firewalls and micro-segmentation. And I think that's pretty telling because as we talked about earlier, right, workloads are everywhere. They're on-premise, they're in clouds, both public and private clouds. And so you have to be able to deliver this capability in a holistic manner. One of my colleagues called it from ground to cloud, right? And so that's another area where we're performing extremely well. But as good as the technology is, and that strategy is, the culture is what beats strategy every day of the week. And
why is that?
Because it always starts with the people. Right?
Right.
If you've got good people and you create an environment where they can be all they're capable of being, that's when the magic happens. Right?
All the creativity, all the innovation.
Absolutely, all the innovation, exactly. And I don't think a lot of people recognize the sort of impactful changes that Cisco's made in terms of our executive ranks. Specifically within security, right? If you look at I call them the security architects or the architects of Cisco's security business group. We're talking about industry luminaries who've come over the last, I'd say 18 to 24 months, right? They've come over from the VMware security business, right? Our chief technology officer for Cisco Security is the inventor of Velo Cloud. Right?
Crazy.
So we've also got one of the founders of Netscope, right, who also held a similar position at Proofpoint, right? We've got leadership who've come over from Zscaler, right? The person who led Zscaler private access product management, right, is now integral to leading Cisco's strategy and has been for the last year and a half or so, leading our strategy around zero trust access, right, with our solution, which is kind of the second mouse to get the cheese, because we saw what happened to the first mouse that was out there,
exactly.
right,
We learned
providing this.
Exactly.
We learned from the lessons of the first mouse, and we've been able to deliver a solution now that is much more aligned with what's needed in the marketplace to deliver the type of outcomes customers are looking for, right? And that's just a short list of some of the folks that make up the group that's now architecting, right, the Cisco security business. So I think if you look at that market shift, right, our portfolio is in the healthiest place it's ever been, and then we've got the right people to be able to execute on that strategy and build the culture that fosters innovation and collaboration, right? It puts us in a really good place to be successful. And that's why I say it's a new day and why we're all so excited about the opportunity ahead of us.
Well, Brian, I am super excited because everything you mentioned here is what I'm experiencing right here in Cisco. And when I have conversations with customers, they're excited because what I'm hearing is this is exactly what we were looking for. This is what we needed. And this is something that you've said in the past. This is not your father's Cisco, right?
Exactly. One of the things I keep track of in our customer meetings is how many times we hear them say, wow, I had no idea Cisco was doing this in security, right?
Yeah.
I usually can't keep track of that until we get to about a handful of times, right? And then, I get refocused on the particulars of the meeting. But that's what we've got to do is get out there and share this story with our partners out there and seek out more opportunities to sit down with customers, understand the challenges that they're dealing with, the things that they're looking to prioritize, the outcomes they want to have. And once we have a sense of that, then we can share with them where and how Cisco can be a really strategic partner for them in terms of their security practice.
That's amazing. So if you were asking yourself, why Cisco? Well, I think we addressed it right here on this video and in this session. So Brian, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. Until the next one.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity.